Hello students, welcome in Standard 9, Subject Science and Technology, Part 1 and 2. Bridge course, duration 2 August to 8 August. Today we have to discuss activity number 21. And today's topic is life cycle of stars. So student, do you know what is a galaxy? So galaxy is nothing but the group of billions of stars and their planetary system is called galaxy. Okay, the second question is what are the different constituent in our solar system? Planets, satellites, stars, comets, asteroids, etc. Then next question is what are the major difference between stars and planet? The stars having its own shine but the planet do not have its own shine. Fourth question is what is the satellite? A satellite is a astronomical planet, okay, astronomical object, and it is revolving around a particular planet and it is known as a satellite. Okay, fifth question is which is the star nearest to us? That is the sun. Okay, with the help of this question and answer, we understood that the structure of universe is early standard. Our solar system is situated in a galaxy and galaxy is a collection of billions of stars, their planetary system and interstitial cloud which are present in empty space between the stars. The universe is made up of innumerable such galaxies and galaxies differs the structure and shape. We can divide them into three types, that is spiral, elliptical and irregular galaxies. Our galaxies is a spiral galaxies and it is called as a Milky Way or Mandakini. A spiral galaxy is shown in figure. तर विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, लाईफ सायकल ऑफ स्टार म्हणजे ताऱ्यांच्या विश्वामध्ये तर युनिवर्स विश्व म्हणजे काय आणि त्याच्यामध्ये असणारे भौगोलिक घटक कोणकोणते आहेत हे याच्यामध्ये दिलेलं आहे. जसं की तारे, ग्रह, उपग्रह आणि हे सर्व काय आहेत युनिवर्स म्हणजेच तर विश्वामधले घटक आहेत. तर याच्यामध्ये जो विश्वामधला घटक आहे ज्याला गॅलेक्सीज असं म्हटलं जातं तर त्याचा वेगवेगळा आकार असतो. स्पायरल, इलिप्टिकल एक्सेट्रा हे त्याचे काय आहेत प्रकार आहेत. तर ठीक आहे, तर आपण आणखीन काही याच्याबद्दल माहिती जाणून घेऊया. Look at this diagram. This diagram is about our solar system situated in a galaxies. Okay, if we look at the sky at night, we only planet and stars. Then how did we get information about the other component of a universe? The answer to this question is a telescope. With the help of telescope, we can study the different planets Earth present in our solar system. The satellite which are orbiting the Earth in a fixed orbit. As these telescopes are situated above the Earth's atmosphere, they can observe astronomical objects more effectively. The astronomers study the observation made by all these telescopes to obtain detailed information about universe. We are going to learn about all these higher standard here. Let us learn about the properties of star and their life cycle. तर विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, आपण जर अवकाशामध्ये बघितलं तर आपल्याला फक्त तारे दिसतात, प्लॅनेट फारसा दिसत नाही. मग आपण इतर ग्रहांच्याबद्दल वगैरे माहिती कशी मिळवली तर अवकाशामध्ये दूरवर असणाऱ्या तारे आणि उपग्रह अभ्यासण्यासाठी टेलिस्कोप या उपकरणाचा वापर केला जातो आणि टेलिस्कोपच्या सहाय्यानेच आकाशगंगाबद्दल आपण आणखीन माहिती मिळवू शकतो. तर आता या प्रकरणामध्ये आपण प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ स्टार ताऱ्यांविषयी काही महत्त्वपूर्ण माहिती जाणून घेणार आहोत. Student, let's discuss about properties of star. At night, we can see about 4,000 stars with our naked eyes. Sun is an ordinary star among them. The reason to call the sun as an ordinary star is that even though it appears to be larger than all other stars in a sky because of its being a nearest to us, there are billions of stars which have a higher or lower mass size and temperature than those of sun. Stars are giant sphere and hot gas. Some properties of sun are given in the table below. The hydrogen makes up 72% of mass of the sun while helium is a 26%. The rest 2% and made up of element heavier than helium. तर तारे कशाने बनलेले असतात तर हायड्रोजन, हेलियम हे त्यातले महत्त्वाचे घटक आहेत की ज्यामुळे तारे स्वयंप्रकाशित होतात. तर ताऱ्यांचं साधारणतः माहिती दिलेली आहे बघा याच्यामध्ये. सूर्य हा आपल्या जवळ असणारा सर्वात जवळचा तारा आहे. तर सूर्याचं मास वजन किती आहे, तर 2 × 10⁻³ किलोग्रॅम इतकं. रॅडियस किती आहे बघा त्याचं, दॅट इज अप टू द 66,95,700 ओके किलोमीटर. सरफेस टेम्परेचर किती आहे बघा त्याचं, 5800 केल्विन. टेम्परेचर ॲट अ सेंटर दॅट इज 1.5 × 10⁻⁻7 केल्विन. आणि एज दिलेलं आहे बघा 4.5 × 10⁻⁹ इयर्स. म्हणजे इतकं आपल्या सूर्याचं काय आहे, आयुष्यमान आहे. ओके स्टुडंट, लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट सम मोर इम्पॉर्टंट पॉईंट्स. The mass of the sun is about 3.3 lakh times that of the earth and its radius is 100 times that of the earth. Other stars have masses between the 1/10 that is the sun and 100 times that of the sun, and their radii are between 1000 times the radius of the sun. The age of the sun and other star, which is time elapsed after their formation, can be between a few million years to few billion years. If the properties of sun had changed in the lifetime, it would have caused a change in the properties of the earth in the life on the earth. Detailed studies of the properties of earth have led scientists to conclude that the properties of sun have remained unchanged over lifetime. The past 4.5 billion years, according to studies made by astronomers. Their properties will slowly changes further after 4.5 billion years. तर विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, 4.5 अब्ज वर्षापूर्वीपासून सूर्याचे जे गुणधर्म आहेत ते अजूनपर्यंत बदललेलं नाही आहे. म्हणजे खगोलशास्त्रज्ञांनी जे काही त्याच्या गुणधर्माचा अभ्यास केलेला आहे त्या गुणधर्मामध्ये अजूनपर्यंत कोणताच बदल झालेला नाही आहे. आता तुम्हाला इथं डायग्राम दिसत आहे, कंपॅरिझन ऑफ साईज ऑफ डिफरंट स्टार. तिथं दिले बघा सुपर जायंट स्टार, सन, व्हाईट ड्रॉप. म्हणजेच काय, सूर्यापेक्षा सुद्धा असंख्य तारे आकाशगंगामध्ये आहेत की जे त्याच्यापेक्षा तप्त आणि त्याच्यापेक्षा सुद्धा डायमीटरनी, रॅडियसनी किंवा सरफेस एरियानी मोठे असणारे तारे उपलब्ध आहेत. परंतु सूर्य पृथ्वीपासून सर्वात जवळ असल्यामुळे आपल्याला त्या एकमेव ताऱ्याचं काय होऊ शकतो, आपण जास्त त्याच्याबद्दल डिटेल माहिती मिळवलेली आहे. Student, let's know about birth of star. It is very interesting. Huge cloud of gas and dust are present in the empty spaces between stars in the galaxy. These are called interstellar cloud. Figure shows a picture of such a cloud taken by a Hubble Space Telescope. Scientists use the unit of light year for measuring large distance. A light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. As the speed of light is 3 lakh km per second, the light years is equal to the 9.5 × 10⁻12 km. The size of interstellar cloud about a few light year. That is, light takes a few years to go from one end of a cloud to the other. From this, you can imagine the huge size of cloud. Due to some disturbance, these clouds start contracting. Because of the contraction, their density of star increases and their temperature also start to increase. And dense sphere of hot gases is formed from the cloud. One, the temperature and density at the center of the sphere increasing sufficiently, nuclear energy generation start there. Because of this energy generation, the gas sphere becomes self-luminous and a star form, or we can say that is star is born. If the sun, this energy generated by a fusion of hydrogen nuclei to form helium nuclei. This means that the hydrogen at the center of this star act as a fuel and energy generated by a burning of this fuel. तर ताऱ्यांचा जन्म कसा होतो, तर गॅलेक्सीमध्ये, आकाशगंगेमध्ये आणि इतर जे एम्प्टी स्पेस असतात, तारे उपग्रह असतात, त्याच्यामध्ये जी मोकळी जागा असते त्याच्यामध्ये भरपूर प्रमाणामध्ये क्लाउड असतं, म्हणजे धुक्यासारखा भाग असतो, जसं की तुम्हाला ह्या फोटोग्राफमध्ये दिसत असतो. कालांतराने हे धुके काय होत जातात, तर कॉन्ट्रॅक्टिंग होतात, म्हणजे त्यांचं अंकुंचन व्हायला सुरुवात होतो. आकुंचन झालं की त्यांचा सरफेस एरिया जो असतो तो कमी कमी होत जातो आणि टेम्परेचर वाढत जातो. टेम्परेचर वाढत गेल्यानंतर त्याच्यामध्ये असणारा हायड्रोजन गॅस काय करतो, तर त्या ताऱ्याला ॲज अ फ्युअल म्हणजे एनर्जी प्रोव्हाइड करायचं कार्य करतो. आणि कंटिन्युअस हायड्रोजन आयन आणि हेलियम न्यूक्लिआय तयार होत राहिल्यामुळं ते क्लाउडचं कन्व्हर्जन एका ताऱ्यामध्ये होतं की ज्याच्यामुळे कंटिन्युअसली ॲज अ फ्युअल हायड्रोजन आणि हेलियम ॲक्ट होत असतात आणि ते क्लाउड असतं जे चमकदार होतं की ज्यालाच आपण तारा असं म्हणतो आणि सेल्फ ल्युमिनस स्वयंप्रकाशित होतो आणि तिथं आपण म्हणतो की ताऱ्याचा जन्म झाला. म्हणजे थोडक्यात ताऱ्यांचा जन्म हा अवकाशामध्ये असणाऱ्या विविध प्रकारच्या भौगोलिक धुक्यांच्यामुळे किंवा धुरांच्यामुळे तयार झालेला असतो की ज्या धुरांमध्ये हायड्रोजन आणि हेलियमसारखे उष्णता देणारे घटक असतात आणि ते स्वयंप्रकाशित करतात त्या धुकांना आणि त्यांचं जे आकारमान असतं ते हळूहळू कमी होत जातं आणि या पद्धतीनं ताऱ्यांचा जन्म होतो. Students, let's know about a new point, that is stability of stars. If we burn an incense stick in one corner of the room, the fragrance spread all over the room instantaneously. Similarly, when we remove the lid of the vessel containing boiling water, the steam spread in the surrounding region. This means that hot gases spread everywhere. Then why doesn't the hot gases in the star disappear in the space? And why have the properties of sun remained unchanged over last 4.5 billion years? Let's find out this answer. Answer of this question is the gravitational force. The gravitational force between the gas particles of the star keep these particles together. If the gravitational force which is constantly trying to bring the gas particle close together and the pressure of the hot gases which is constantly trying to disappear the gas are balanced, then the star remains stable. The gravitational force is acting inward towards the center of the star while the gas pressure is acting outward away from the center of the star. ओके, म्हणजे विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, जर गॅस किंवा वायू सर्वदूर पसरत असतील तर ताऱ्यांच्या जवळ निर्माण होणारी प्रचंड उष्णता किंवा जे हॉट गॅसेस असतात ते सर्वत्र का पसरत नाहीत आणि पृथ्वीवरती उष्णता का निर्माण होत नाही, तर याचं उत्तर आहे पृथ्वीवरती असणारं ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स. ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्समुळे जे काही हॉट गॅसेस असतात त्याचा इफेक्ट पृथ्वीवरती जाणवत नाही. लुक ॲट धिस डायग्राम. This diagram is about the pressure of gases. The earth create a gravitational force outside and pressure of gas create a pressure inside the earth, but the gravitational force equals them and it reduces this pressure. You must have played a tug of war. In these two ends of the rope are pulled on two sides by two groups. When the force applied by both sides are equal, they balance each other and the center of the rope remains static. When the force of one side of the rope is larger than that of the other side, the center of the rope moves towards that side. Sometimes similarly happens in case of star. When the gravitational force and gas pressure are balanced, the star is stable. But when one of them is more than other, the star either contract or expand. तर बघा, साध्या उदाहरणाद्वारे इथं स्पष्ट केलेलं आहे की हे तारे कॉन्स्टंट कसे काय राहतात, तर याला कारण आहे पृथ्वीवरचं असणारं गुरुत्वाकर्षण बल. गुरुत्वाकर्षण बल आणि ताऱ्यांनी निर्माण केलेली प्रचंड उष्णता किंवा दाब हे जोपर्यंत इक्वल असतात तोपर्यंत तारे स्टेबल राहतात. यांच्यापैकी एकाचा जरी प्रेशर कमी किंवा जास्त झाला तर हे तारे काय होऊ शकतात, पृथ्वीवरती येऊन आदळू शकतात किंवा ते डिसॅपियर होऊ शकतात. इव्होल्युशन ऑफ स्टार. ओके स्टुडंट, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज इव्होल्युशन ऑफ स्टार. You many times heard that evolution happens only in plants and animal, but the evolution is also happens in our universe also. Let's discuss about the evolution of stars. Evolution of stars means change its properties with time resulting in its passing through different stage. We have seen that the properties of sun have not changed after past 4.5 billion years. Stars evolve very slowly for most of their lifetime. As stars are continuously emitting energy, Their energy is constantly decreasing. For their stability to remain intact, for maintaining a balance between the gas pressure and the gravitational force, it is necessary that the temperature remains constant. For the temperature to remain constant, energy must be generated inside the star. This generation of energy occurs because of burning of fuel at the center of the star. The reason for the evolution of star is burning of and therefore the decrease in the amount of fuel in their center. When the fuel in the center finished, the energy generation is stopped. As a result, the temperature of the star decreasing. Due to decreasing the temperature, the gas pressure decreases and balance between the gas pressure and gravitational force cannot be maintained. As the gravitational force is now higher than the gas pressure, the star start contracting. This causes another fuel to start burning. For example, hydrogen at the center finished, the helium start undergoing fusion and energy generation start again. How many fuel will be used depends on the mass of the star. The higher mass of the star is the number of fuel used. During this, lot of changes occur in the star as the number of pressure occur inside the star. It sometimes contract and expand at other time and the star goes to the different stages. When all possible fuel are exhausted, the energy generation finally stopped and the temperature of the star decreasing. The balance between the gravitational force and gas pressure cannot be maintained. Let us now see how the evolution of star ends and what is the end stage of star. तर विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो बघा, जनरली इव्होल्युशन ऑफ स्टार ही जी प्रक्रिया आहे ताऱ्यांची उत्क्रांती ही खूप स्लो प्रोसेस आहे. याच्यामध्ये त्या ताराच्या सेंटरमध्ये किती प्रमाणामध्ये हायड्रोजन आणि हेलियमचे घटक आहेत त्यावरून ते तारे किंवा त्यांचं अस्तित्व किती दीर्घ कालावधीपर्यंत या विश्वामध्ये असणार आहे ते डिपेंड असतं. मग ज्यावेळी सडनली हायड्रोजन गॅस म्हणजे आपलं एनर्जी प्रोव्हाइड करायचं कार्य थांबवतो त्यावेळी लगेच हेलियम काय करतो, फ्युजन होतो म्हणजे स्वतःला डिव्हाइड करून घेतो आणि मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये फ्युएल जनरेट करतो की ज्यामुळे ते तारे परत काय होतात, चमकत राहतात. मग कशा पद्धतीनं तारे नष्ट होतात तर ते एंड स्टेज ऑफ स्टार्समध्ये सांगितलेले आहेत, ते आपण जाणून घेऊया. द हायर द मास ऑफ द स्टार फास्टर इन द रेट ऑफ इव्होल्युशन. The different stages during the evolution of star, which is the path of evolution of the star, also depends on its mass. How does the evolution finally stop? We have seen that when the energy generation stops, the temperature decreases, causing the gas pressure to decrease. The star contracts and its density increases. When the density becomes very high, some new type of pressure are generated which do not depend on the temperature of a gas. In such a case, the gas pressure remains constant even after the energy generation stops completely and the temperature of gas goes on decreasing. The stability of star can remain intact ever and this can be considered as the end stage of star. जसं की मी आधीच सांगितलं, जोपर्यंत एखाद्या ताऱ्यामध्ये हायड्रोजन आणि हेलियमचा कंटेंट आहे तोपर्यंत त्याला फ्युएल मिळतं आणि तो त्याची मर्यादा किंवा या विश्वातलं अस्तित्व टिकून राहतं. ज्यावेळी हे संपतं त्यावेळी त्या ताऱ्याचं आयुष्यमान देखील संपतं. जसं की आता ह्या दुसऱ्या आकृतीमध्ये बघा काय सांगितलेलं आहे, इव्होल्युशन ऑफ स्टार बेस्ड ऑन देअर मास अँड देअर एंड स्टेज. देर आर 3 वे ऑफ इव्होल्युशन ऑफ स्टार डिपेंडिंग ऑन देअर इनिशियल मास. Thus we can divide the star in 3 groups. The path of evolution, end stage for all the star in the same group in a same. Let's learn more about this. The first stage, start having initial mass less than 8 times the mass of the sun. Star in this group undergo huge expansion and their radius increase by the factor 100 to 200. In this stage, they are called a red giant star. This name is given because of the large size and because of the fact that the stars look in reddish due to their low temperature. The size of the red giant star is comparison to the odd type of star shown in figure. Okay, so when the star causing disappearance, it looks like a red color. So therefore it is known as a red giant star. The end of its evolution, the start, explosion, and their outer gaseous envelope is thrown out. The inner part of contraction and its size becomes similar to the size of the Earth. As the mass of the star is much higher than that of the Earth and the size is similar to that of the Earth, the density in the star becomes very high. In this state, the pressure due to the electrons in the star become independent of the temperature and is able to balance the gravitational force forever. In this state, the star looks white and due to the small size, it is called a white dwarf. After this temperature, keeping decreasing but its size and mass remains unchanged forever. And so white dwarf is the end stage of this star. This mass ranges. तर बघा हळूहळू काय होतं त्याच्या टेम्परेचर स्टार्सचं कमी होत जातं आणि रेड जायंट जो आहे तो व्हाईट ड्रॉफमध्ये म्हणजे पांढऱ्याशा ठिपक्यामध्ये काय होतो कन्वर्ट होत जातो आणि त्याचं वॉल्यूम पृथ्वीपेक्षा काय होतं जास्त होतं आणि तो एका व्हाईट ड्रॉफमध्ये कन्वर्ट होतो. जसं की तुम्हाला या आकृतीमध्ये दिसत आहे द आउटर गॅसेस एनव्हलप विच इज थ्रोन आउट ड्युरिंग द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ व्हाईट ड्रॉप अँड विच ॲट द सेंटर. ओके. Next stage is the end stage of stars having mass between 8 and 25 times the mass of the sun. These stars also go through the red giant stage and later through the supergiant stage, during which their size may be increased 1,000 times. The huge explosion called a supernova explosion, which occurs at last, is very powerful. So much energy is given off that we can see in a star during the day also. The central portion of which the left behind after explosion, contraction at its size become as small as about 10 km. In this state, the stars are completely made up of neutrons and are called neutron stars. The pressure of these neutrons is independent of the temperature and is capable of balancing the gravitational force forever. Neutron star is the end stage of this star. तर बघा ही शेवटची स्टेज आहे न्यूट्रॉन स्टेज. याच्यामध्ये तारा आणखीन प्रकाशित होतो, त्याचा बाहेरचा एन्व्हलप पूर्णपणे डिसॲपियर होतो. साधारणतः त्याचा साईज 10 किलोमीटरपर्यंत होतो आणि या दरम्यान त्याच्या सेंटरमध्ये असणारे न्यूट्रॉन्स जास्त ॲक्टिवेट होतात. न्यूट्रॉन्स जास्त ॲक्टिवेट झाल्यामुळं तो जास्त स्वयंप्रकाशित दिसतात आणि कधीकधी असा न्यूट्रॉन स्टार आपण दिवसा देखील पाहू शकतो. न्यूट्रॉन जास्त ॲक्टिवेट असल्यामुळं अशा या स्टेजला न्यूट्रॉन स्टार असं सुद्धा म्हटलं जातं. तर ह्या तिन्ही स्टेजवरून काय दिसलं तर पहिल्या स्टेजमध्ये सांगितलेलं आहे की तारा लाल रंगामध्ये कन्वर्ट होतो म्हणून त्याला रेड जायंट म्हणतात. त्याच्यानंतर दुसऱ्या स्टेजमध्ये काय होतं तर त्याचा बाहेरचा आउटरमोस्ट जो कवरिंग असतो तो पूर्णपणे नाहीसा होतो. त्याचं प्रेशर डिक्रीज होत जातो, त्याचं वॉल्यूम पृथ्वीपेक्षा जास्त होत जातो की ज्याच्यामुळं की तो सेकंड स्टेजमध्ये कन्वर्ट होतो. सेकंड स्टेजमध्ये त्याच्या मध्यभागी असणारे न्यूट्रॉन्स जास्त ॲक्टिवेट होतात, त्यामुळे तो तारा जास्त स्वयंप्रकाशित होतो. व्हाईट ड्रॉफमध्ये कन्वर्ट झाल्यानंतर ही न्यूट्रॉनची प्रक्रिया चालू होते आणि एकदा न्यूट्रॉन्सची प्रक्रिया चालू झाली की त्याला न्यूट्रॉन स्टार असं म्हणतात. आणि ही एक स्टेप झाली की त्यानंतर तारा काय होतो डिसॲपियर होतो. स्टुडंट्स, लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट सम इंटरेस्टिंग फॅक्ट्स. As the size of the white dwarf is similar to that of the earth, their density is very large. One spoonful material of the white dwarf will weigh a few tons. As the neutron stars are much smaller than white dwarf, their density is even higher. One spoonful material of this star will weigh as much as weight of all living being on the earth. The second fact is that a star in our galaxy exploded about the 7,500 years back. Okay. As the star is about 6,500 light years away from us, the light emitted in the explosion took 6,005 years to reach us. It was the first seen on the earth by the Chinese in the year 1054. It was so bright that its cloud be seen during the day also for 2 years. After 1,000 years of the explosion, the gases emitted during the explosion are seen to be expanding with the velocities higher than 1000 kilometer. Okay, these are the some interesting fact for the explosion of star. Let's see about the third stage, end stage of star, having mass larger than 25 times of the mass of the sun. These stars evolve like a star in the second group, but the supernova explosion, no pressure is capable of balancing their huge gravitational force, and they continue contracting forever. As their size becomes smaller, their density and their gravitational force increasing tremendously. All nearby objects get attracted towards this star, or nothing can come out them, not even light. Also, any light falling on this star does not get reflected and gets absorbed inside the star. Thus, we cannot see the star at all but can probably see minute black holes at its base. This end stage of the star, therefore called as a black hole. Thus, we have seen that depending upon the mass, there are three paths of evolution and three stages of evolution of star. These are shows in the following table. Okay, initial mass of the star here given and end stage of the star. Okay, first white dwarf is formed. After that the star look like a red giant, then it will be converted into white dwarf. After that they will be converted into neutron star, and finally they have to convert it to black holes. Okay student, this is the topic, today's topic. Now all of you solve the given question and answer present in your screen. See you in next video with next point. Thank you.